Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10 says, "You, however, have followed my teaching, my conduct, my aim in life, my faith, my patience, my love, my steadfastness." He goes on in chapter 3 and says, "My persecutions and sufferings that happened to me at Antioch, at Iconium, and at Lystra, which persecutions I endured, yet from them all the Lord rescued me." This is Paul's words to Timothy towards the end of his life, encouraging him. And basically, Paul writes 2 Timothy to this young son of the faith to say, you can do it. I used to watch this movie, Adam Sandler. It was about him being this crazy Cajun football player. And there was this character on the movie who would always say, "You can do it." It's just that comes to mind because that's kind of the spirit of Paul's encouragement to Timothy. He's saying, regardless of the opposition, regardless of how tough it is, regardless of how scary God's assignment on your life may seem, because God's hand is on your life, you can do it. That's essentially what he's saying. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of it before we ever get into it. I'm guilty of this. God will put something on my heart or can kind of speak to us here in leadership about what our church is supposed to be about. And you start thinking about how much it costs and how hard it's going to be and how risky it is, whatever it is God's assignment is. And we'll talk ourselves out of it before we ever get into it. You ever been there? But here, Paul is encouraging Timothy to say, you followed my life, you followed my aim, you followed my teaching, which means you got the goods inside of you. You can do this. But a lot of times we'll look at other great people and we'll compare ourselves to them and talk ourselves out of it. Be careful, because the people that you look up to, they got issues too. Albert Einstein, one of the more brilliant figures in human history, right? Theory of relativity, that was like a big deal. It was said that Albert Einstein would sometimes get lost trying to find his way home every day. The idea is this: you may be a genius in something, but you ain't a genius in everything. Albert Einstein was a genius in his thing, but guess what? God's created you too, and you get to be a genius in your thing. And some of you, God is calling to be a genius of a mom and love on that hard-to-love child in this season. Some of you have to have some integrity at your job because no one else is, and God said, I want you to be a genius in integrity at your job. Some of you, the church is about to give up, but you are the saint that's convinced that God's going to work through this thing, and you have to be a genius at faith. And I want you to know, you can do it. And that's hope for today. I'll see you next time.